Hi everyone, welcome to my video. Today we're talking about why I'm, I'm restarting my YouTube video, restarting my videos basically, trying to go on social media. This past year, last year, and this year, early this year, I've just been reminiscing on how life has been for me basically. I've been looking through things and finished my master's 2 years ago. Started my second master's right now. It's been a it's been a journey for me. It's been a happy journey, sad journey, ups and downs here and there, cries here, laughs here and there. So I just turned 29, probably last weekend, and looking back at my life and looking back at childhood, I remember the promise I made myself, probably when I was 10 or 11, that when I become, when I got 28, I'll start a company. When I become my 20s, basically, I'll start a company that will be helping at least 100,000 people in the world. And this came about because when I was smaller, I think it was CNN on BBC. I was watching the when they had the food crisis in Somalia, where they will show you children that are very unhealthy, and they will say because of there's no rains and imports of grains is too expensive, and the war is there. So as a kid, that gave me compassion to work, to look at that and say, why is that happening? How can I fix it? How can we fix it as a world, as a community? So this began my journey as a kid through high school and university. One thing I realized that because of that, I was so hell bent on going the biological route, loving biology, loving anything that has to do with life and health, basically. Going through secondary school university, I didn't really care about any other course apart from that. Did my undergraduate in biotech, and biotech was for a reason for me. Because because biotech was not that big where I came from, and they've not really established anything within it. I was trying to see I could use that and maybe go to Europe or go wherever I want to study genetic engineering. Why genetic engineering or genetic manipulation? Why was that? Because I wanted to learn how to manipulate um, plant genes and animal genes to help to able to withstand harsh weathers. And those harsh weathers will come from maybe global warming, or if you believe that or not, but I believe in that global warming. So, but funny enough, I liked about tech, but it didn't really, as a, it didn't really put the core of my heart, or didn't really light the fire within me. Maybe because of why I schooled and I couldn't really practice what I studied, or I don't know. But it didn't really light the fire in me. So basically, I applied for masters in the US. I came to the US probably 2020. Yeah, 2020. Came to the US. Got got admission to the US to study biostatistics and public health. Well, during that, I started looking at public health, and it gave me like a joy that you can't feel when you that joy out, that happy, that kind of happiness that makes you feel like this is what you established to do, or this is what you are meant to do in your life, kind of. You're meant to do in your life. So, looking at that and looking at my life, I was like, wow, I've not felt this before. Then, during my internship, had a project with the Oregon Health Authorities, and basically it lit a fire in me that is beyond quenching. I sit down every day and think about the project. I sit down every day and think about, even when I worked there, I was like thinking about it. I was like, I'm happy to be that. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy I'm working in this field. And I realized, man, I fall in love with public health. I fall in love with public health. But, as an international student, you have a limited time and limited time to do what you want, and maybe hopefully a company sponsors you, you're lucky with your H1B, you're lucky with every other thing. So this is the system we all live in. So right now I was looking at, because in the normal state, after masters, you go for your PhD. Maybe after one, in public health, I know it's like after 1 year of working, you go to, if you're not sponsored, you come back for your PhD. Then hopefully you work in a global health organization, or work in the UN. You try and get into one of those big public health establishments that work globally or work internationally. But when I'm looking at it, I was like, yes, I would love to do that. I would love to do that, but it's not what's calling me, basically. So I looked at myself, I was like, why am I not eager to run and do my PhD and go the second round? Because I'm done my master's, I can go for my PhD. I've done research in places that are renowned. Why can't I just go for that? And I realized that I'm not really defined by that, so I still want to do my PhD, but not right now. I'll do my PhD at my own time, my own pace. Probably in the future, but not now. Yeah, I still want to get that paper of doctorate, and although I want to get that, I don't want to be as miserable as all the other people I see around me that are doing doctorate degree, because it's a hell of a commitment. Trust me, it's a hell of a commitment. Masters alone in public health is a commitment. They're doing it as a PhD. It's not fun. It's a commitment that you have to commit to it. So when I came to a conclusion that, okay, since I'm not eager to do my PhD, go for a second master's. So right now I'm doing my second master's, surviving. But with the second master's, I don't really have who to fall back on. I have to fall back on myself. My first master's, his parents were Africans. They were sponsoring for first masters. But the main thing was to get a PhD, because most PhDs in the US, I mean pretty much around the world, are basically sponsored. I said the US, because I know the US system. Most of them are basically sponsored. full ride because you're doing this, you're working as a research assistant for either a professor or whoever you're working with. So since I'm not going that route, I have to make my life not so easy but better. So that's why I said basically with this second masters, it has to be a means to an end. Basically, it has to be a means to an end. So the means to an end basically is for me now starting a startup for myself. It's gonna be hard because, as I said, as an international student, you can't walk outside school. Except your CPT or OPT, you can't really walk outside school. So this is a very big leap for me to do that. Basically, to look at it and look at the funds for it. So my first aspect was to maybe write a grant, write everything to see if any organization that does grants or give out grants basically will work with me. But when as an African, as you talk to your friends, some of them look at you and it's like, bro, I talked to my friends about writing grants and giving it to organizations to get money to do this startup. But they'll say they're looking at it as a big problem. That first of all, there's a question one of my friends asked is why would the hell do they give you? First of all, you can't technically work in the country without a CPT and OPT. I'm back in school. You've not really established yourself as a renowned person around the world that they can work with or they can look at and say, yes, they're doing a good thing, so we can give you the grant. So I thought to myself now, being sad, but talking to my friends about what I want to do, basically, being sad about it. As far they broke my courage or what I need to do with that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So what next to do? How do I establish myself that maybe 2 years, 3 years time, if I ask for a grant to move my company forward, move the startup forward, people will come and work with me. So looking at this, I say, okay, people generate money from social media. It's not that much, it might be great, it might be small, but people make money from social media. Why can't I tap into that? So that's why this video was made, basically, to tap into that. I'm looking for basically not people to give me money, not people to basically give me money because I've done that. There's the reputation of where I come from, this like scammers or whatever. So not people to give me money, but people to watch my videos. Tell me videos you like to watch. Tell me videos you want to watch. You want me to react. Because this startup I'm creating is a public health startup. As you see on my background on my screen, the meaning of public health is already there. Basically, I define public health as a science to protect and improve the health of people and communities. That's how I define it. So I look at myself and like, I want to help the life of people around me, around the world. So this startup is basically going to be a public health startup. We'll be focusing on public health crisis within starting within the United States, because in the United States is already an established system we could work with. It might not be as it might not be straightforward or equal. It might not be as it might not be great, but there's a system already there that we could work with. I could work with, and hopefully the people that will work within the organization in the future can work with. So what I'm looking at is basically I want the startup to be a broad startup that work on everything. But as a new startup, you have to work on something narrow before you become big. Like how Amazon started with books and grew to what we know it as today. So right now, what I want to start with is basically not say limiting, but reducing the amount of food deserts in the world. So let me go to the food desert tab here on Google, because I don't want to use scientific, I want to use things that people could understand. So sorry for looking, I'm looking at that screen. So this is what a food desert is. An urban area in which is difficult to afford or buy good quality food, basically. But I'll say to myself that it's beyond that. It's basically I don't believe you have to drive more than 30 miles to get healthy products for your food. Don't need to drive more than that. In urban areas, even in rural areas, especially the Midwest, there are a lot of food deserts in the US. Because if you look at food deserts in the US and Google it, you'll see a lot of maps, because we can also Google it right now and look at it. Minus all this. This is Wikipedia, so we don't really trust that. So there are a lot of companies that work on that. But what I want to look at is we all, as public health experts or public health people or people that work in nutrition, we always come with top below approaches into food deserts, especially urban and some part of rural areas. But it has not really reduced the amount of, it has reduced the food desert, but not as what we want. Sorry, let me pause the video and come back to it. Sorry for that, on a phone call from a friend of mine. So there are a lot of, we always come with, as I said, we always come with the top bottom approach, but it's different. Because when we go for a top bottom approach, yes, we reduce the amount of food deserts in urban areas around the US and even around the world, but we don't completely eliminate it, because as someone coming from an area, you understand what you actually need from your food deserts. You actually know what you need. So my approach is basically a grassroots approach to see how we could eliminate food deserts in the US and probably go out globally to look at it. Because if we do that, I think we can eliminate it around the world, and especially the US. Then the second thing I'll be looking at is basically the healthcare deserts. This is one that I really want to work on, This is one that's basically, I think, my research, my whole life will be on for the rest of my life, trying to fix healthcare deserts, not just in the US but around the world. So this is what we call healthcare or medical deserts. There are a lot of it around the US, there are a lot of it around the world. But as I said, we'll start with the US because US already has a system. Because you can use an established system before you jump into a new system. So that's what I'm looking at. So this is what we're going to first work with. And every project, what my dream is, like every project we work on in this startup will be on the website. The website will also have access to videos, projects, maybe weekly. My dream is like the organization I want to do, the startup I want to work, establish. In the future, we'll have like an interactive session in the sense that we'll be on social media, on Twitch or whatever, or streaming websites, YouTube, TikTok, wherever we are. Basically to show the world what we're doing, to ask for input for people within those organizations, within those communities. Because we in healthcare or public health, we've left out the community part of it, and we come as experts and try and create something for a community that people don't take in or people don't accept properly. Healthcare desert is a dream of mine. One of those. Food and healthcare is one of the big things I want to eliminate around the world. I want to be part of the solutions and not the problem. So these are the two. Then the third that I'll probably work on, but not now. If maybe 5 years into establishing this or 10 years, is working on the pharmaceutical. How we can help reduce drug prices within, not just in the US, but around the world. Because, especially in the US, the biggest problem is like drugs are very expensive. As my mom said, my mom prays every day like I should not get sick, because remember when I was living in Alabama, my mom fell sick and the bills were so large that she was like, wow. So most people in the US, even around the world, fear to get sick because of the cost of medical health bills. So that's a thought thing that I want to work on with this startup. So now my reason for starting this is to basically reach out to people in the YouTube and around the YouTube community, maybe TikTok. I'll post a snippet of this on TikTok to help out, to watch these videos, tell me the type of videos you want me to watch. So by the time I watch the videos, I can create videos that are catered to you so that people can watch. I can monetize it and hopefully help in funding the startup of mine. So thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you. Have a lovely day.